everybody, happy Thursday. Now, before I get into the question that I'm going to answer today, which is a good one, I wanted to let you all know that something new is happening, and I'm actually really excited about it. I am launching a Patreon account, and it's launching today, like right now, because for many of you who don't know and haven't been following me for a really long time, I quit my full-time job back in March. Now, I still see my clients in my private practice, but I don't do that full-time. What I do full-time, I'm doing right now. Hey! And Patreon is a great way for me to keep doing this and keep doing it full time, because I have to be honest and not be like all sappy and weird about it, but I really feel like this is what I was born to do. This is what I'm meant to do. And together we can really change the way that people access mental health information, and that's really freaking awesome. So if you would be able to give, you can check out the Patreon. I'll link to it at the end of this video, because I have put together some what I think are really cool rewards for those of you who are able to give, and that can be anything from one-on-one hangouts to hangouts with other members of our community to getting t-shirts and letters from me and all sorts of cool things like that. So check it out, and if you're able to give, that would be wonderful, and it would help me help more people, and that's really what I love doing. So without further ado, today's question is, and I get a lot of these, so I've kind of squished it together to make it like all-encompassing, because many of you have told me recently that you're losing your therapist. So the question I wrote down is what to do when a therapist leaves, or if you're forced to switch. Because I've heard from many of you in different areas and different parts of the world that either A, you only get an X number of sessions and so you're forced to end, you're not ready, or B, a therapist says, I've been working together for like a year and a half and you're not making any progress, and so I feel like we need to terminate, or they're moving, or they're having a baby, or something is happening and so they're leaving, or you're leaving for school, and this can be really, really difficult. And I know I've talked about this periodically, but I want to just focus in on what do we do when we lose our therapist and that relationship is gone, because I've gone through it myself and I know it can be really difficult. I actually, unfortunately, was going through it when my dad passed away, and she was nice enough to like do phone sessions, but she had moved, like she was gone, and that was really hard. So what do we do? First of all, if you have, and these are all contingent upon your situation because everyone's situation is different, but if you have the time, set up time to actually process through it with your therapist before they leave. If they're having a baby, they know that way in advance. If they're moving, usually you know that in advance. And if you know you have a limited number of sessions, make sure you at least give yourself the last 2 or 3 to just talk about it, feel it, be in it, like experience it, and know that that's okay. It's part of kind of what I think, and what helps me work on it myself is like it's part of the grieving process. And part of what I do with my therapist and part of what I do with my own clients is let's take a look back on all of the wonderful work that we've done together. What are some of the things that you never thought possible that we're already doing? How far have we come together? Let's look back on that and like applaud for all the hard fucking work that we did and be like, yes, this is amazing. So take time to do that. And then take time to say goodbye. Things that you're going to miss, things that you really enjoyed. And when you have to leave, let's say they're moving, having a baby, something, and they're referring you out, make sure you give yourself time to get to know that therapist a little bit before your other therapist is gone. I always encourage many of my clients to leave extra 2 weeks if you can between canceling one and starting another, where you have a little overlap. Because then, let's say they're leaving me and going to someone else, I can contact this new therapist and give them a little rundown of the things we've been working on, some of our goals. If it's okay with you, obviously you have to sign off on all that stuff, just so you know. But I can also fax over, with your permission, some of our treatment plans and some of the goals that we've been working on and some of my notes, so that there's not such a big lag in getting back into what you're working on. And that gives you a little time to get comfortable with them and have like a smooth transition, so it doesn't feel so abrupt where I'm like, bye, and then you kind of fall off the face of the earth. You feel like, and you're like, I don't have anybody, I don't know. And then you're making calls to make appointments. I don't like that. I like you to already have appointments going for a couple of weeks, and then you transition out. That's what I would encourage you. And I would also, the last thing, I guess my last little tip, is to ask your therapist if it's possible for you to keep in touch periodically. Set some strict boundaries around how often you can email or call, but see if every once in a while, if you are like, yay, I just graduated, can I let you know about that? Or yay, I finally did that one thing we've been working on forever, can I email you and let you know? Because I find as a therapist, that's fine with me. Every therapist is different, but it's important for you to ask so that you know that they're still out there somewhere and you may be able to still be in contact with them a little bit. But just do yourself a favor and feel it. Losing a therapist sucks. It's really hard. And when we feel like we're getting passed around, it's even harder. But know that you're worth it. You'll find a therapist who can stick with you for the long haul, who can work through all of these bad things that are happening with you and help you come out the other side a better and stronger person. And maybe this therapist just helped renew your faith in therapy as a whole, but the next one, the one that's going to help you get to the place where you are going. And I think that that's something to kind of keep in mind, because people are in our lives for different reasons. If we get too hung up on losing this one person, we can't see how amazing maybe the next person is. And like always, if you're starting with a new therapist, make sure you have that good feeling with them and know that you don't have to keep seeing them if you don't like them. Okay? I hope that helps. I hope that puts your mind at ease a little bit. And go get them, because you're all worth it, and finding the right therapist can really be an amazing thing. I love you all. You can click here to hop on over to my Patreon account, because like I said, it would mean a lot to me if you could donate. Obviously, if you can't afford to, you are in no way obligated. None of this is going to change if you don't. But if you're able to, I've set up a bunch of cool rewards, and I'll put the link here. I love you all. See you on Saturday. Bye.